Resident Evil Episode 8 is called Revelations, and it is the season finale. It starts off at the university in 2030, and we see Jade doing an experiment with the pheromones. So she wants to see if her pheromone spray would work on, quote, something bigger. Then back to young Jade and Billy. They are with Roth, and he won't let them go anywhere. Pretty much the whole family is under lockdown at this point. Bert is with Evelyn. He's trying to reason with her, and he's very worried about Jade and Billy. She lies, saying that they are safe, and they keep asking about the great Uncle Bert. She's really manipulating Bert right now, saying that they told her that Bert is a great man and that he doesn't scare them. It was just a misunderstanding. And he believes this because he's pretty gullible. I mean, he hasn't really had a life. So after she butters him up, she tells him that he has an important project. And if he completes it, she will give him the life he has always wanted. She brings him into the room, and we see a man preserved in a liquid, and it looks to be that it could be the original Albert Wesker in that tank being preserved. But who do you guys think that is? Let me know in the comments. Young Jade is speaking with Billy, saying that everyone is lying about everything. This causes Billy to wonder if she's really not okay from the dog bite. Jade says they do need to look into that, but right now they need to focus on escaping by taking the getaway bag that Albert had made for them. So Jade comes up with a plan, and she goes out to distract Roth with Pablo the dog as Billy goes to gather the escape bag. While Jade is talking to Roth, Billy manages to get the bag, and then Jade goes to meet up with her, but Roth catches them pretty much right away, and he tries to stop them. Then Billy gets filled with rage and attacks Roth, showing that super strength that she had on earlier on in the season when she punched that man over the dog. She actually manages to take Roth down, and she tells Jade to run and get help. Roth notices that Billy is super strong, and he says, "What are you?" Back to Jade and Karen time. This is right after Jade had exploded the pheromone spray that attracts the zombies, so the horde is overtaking everyone and everything. Billy punches Jade and goes to hide inside. The onslaught continues, and umbrella guards are dying at a very high rate. The zombies just keep coming. It's relentless. Then Billy actually doesn't hide. She walks right back into the fight, and she's armed with drones. Jade simply runs through the horde since she has the mist on. She runs towards the ship screaming, "Wait," because they had already taken off, and Arjun was already worried for her, so he was waiting and looking for her. Arjun spots her, and he runs to try and help her out. He hooks up a rope to the ship, and he tosses it over as Jade makes a jump from the dock onto the rope, and she pulls herself up to the ship with Arjun's help. Jade then tells Sakim to press the button, just like she did last episode. Sakim decides that Jade is right and that they have to make this decision, so he presses the button, and he and Arjun take out separate keys, place them in separate keyholes, and turn them at the same time, which activates the plan. The plan? It's releasing the giant crocodile zombie that we saw earlier. So since they have the pheromone spray on, Jade is confident that he won't attack them, but instead goes straight towards Billy and all of the umbrella guards. Young Billy is then brought to Evelyn by Roth, and he shows Evelyn that she's been bitten. Evelyn then instantly puts it together that she was the one who let the dog out and got bit by the dog, because she had a feeling that Albert had been lying about that the entire time, and she even insinuated before that it was the girls when she said, "Say hi to the girls for me," right after Albert left that night. Evelyn asks what her symptoms are. Billy says they include hallucinations, rage, and a pounding heart. She says, "If I am sick, can you help me?" Evelyn says she's the only one that can help. Young Jade is talking to Simon, and she tells him everything. And he finds it hard to believe since her story includes clones, but he still agrees to help Jade save Billy because she is claiming they are going to hurt her, so they're going to team up to try and save Billy. Jade says it's all over the stupid joy pill. Simon pulls two of them out of his pocket that he scooped from his mom last episode when he saw her dose his other mom. He holds them up and he says, "You mean these?" This makes Simon really angry, and he heads right inside to talk to Diana, his other mom, who was drugged, and he asks her if the joy pills are hers. She says no, but she's acting really loopy and quite strange. She even cuts herself with a knife on accident, and she says she doesn't feel it. Remember, Billy cannot feel pain. So this pretty much confirms the fact that Evelyn has been dosing Diana with joy, maybe as a test subject or maybe as a way to control her. Then we're back to Evelyn and young Billy, and Evelyn calls her very brave. But Billy just wants to know if she's sick or not. She's very stuck on this subject. She's tired of being lied to, and she wants to know the truth. Evelyn goes to see the results from the man running the test on Billy in the lab, and he says the virus is just not affecting the cells, and he does not know why. Simon calls Evelyn, and he's really, really mad. Evelyn says she's better. She's happier. So she doesn't deny it, but she justifies it. Simon says she's not better, she's a zombie. Then Evelyn goes on a rant on how hard she is working to keep the family together because Diana wanted to leave and take Simon. But Simon doesn't want to have her mind made up for her. He says, "Fuck you" to Evelyn, and he hangs up the phone. The zombie crocodile plan is in full effect, and it is working. Jade goes looking for B, but she's nowhere to be found. It turns out she took one of the lifeboats by herself back to the land. Then Evelyn walks in just in time to see Billy wrestling with the man who worked in the lab. Billy gets the upper hand. She takes a needle and stabs the man right in the eye. Then she takes a run at Evelyn. She screams right in her face, "You lied to me." And then she gets a good shot in on her, cutting her with the needle and knocking her down. She runs into the hallway after knocking Evelyn down. She is hallucinating that she's being chased by that dog again, the same one that started everything. Bert hears her freaking out, so he finds her, and he actually manages to do a really good job calming her down. So Billy manages to calm down thanks to Uncle Bert. Bert tells Billy that they need to find Albert. Billy wants nothing to do with Albert currently because he lied to her for so long, so she just doesn't want to see her father right now. Bert then tells Billy, "Look, if you really want to, we can leave, but just so you know, they will torture him or kill him. There's no other option for Albert if he stays there." Then we finally see Albert again, and Jade walks into where he is with Simon. Jade tells Albert that they took Billy and they know she got bit. Just then, Billy and Bert walk right in. Then we see that the giant zombie crocodile is currently chasing Billy and members of the Umbrella Corporation. She tries to get the drones to hurt it, but the croc just swats them out of the air, and then he eats someone. And then he takes down a helicopter. This thing does some serious damage. Back to young Jade. Her, Simon, and Billy are hiding from Evelyn and all of her Umbrella goons. Evelyn has completely lost it at this point, and she has dropped the act of acting nice to anyone. She's just in full-on rage mode, and she wants to handle this situation once and for all. Just then, Billy has another hallucination and ends up biting Simon during a fit of rage. Jade, Billy, and Simon are then surrounded by Umbrella employees, and Evelyn sees that Simon has been bitten. That's the only way to transfer the T-virus to another person or animal. Albert walks right up to everyone, and he says, "Look, I can fix it. I will find a way. But you have to let Jade and Billy go." Albert tries to reason with Evelyn, saying, "You know it's Simon's only chance if I help him." Evelyn weighs her options, but she actually decides to shoot Simon right in the head, instantly killing him. So Evelyn has lost all sense of morality at this point. Bert and Albert then pull out their John Wick skills and disarm the guards next to them, take out a couple of them pretty quickly and very efficiently, and run away. Roth then chases them closely behind. Roth is on their tail and he's chasing them, but they get away as Evelyn stares off into space after just murdering her own son. Back to current time, while Jade and Arjun were going after B, Arjun actually slipped and fell on a rock and seems to have broken his leg. He looks at Jade and says, "Look, just go. Find B. I'll be okay." Billy and a couple of her guards, whoever survived the attack from the crocodile, made it on to what looked like to be the last helicopter available, and they are able to take off and get into the air just out of the crocodile's reach. So right when it looks like B just made a new best friend, Billy comes out of nowhere with the helicopter, shoots multiple missiles at the croc. B runs away just in time, but the missiles make contact and the croc goes down. Jade meets back up with B, but then Billy comes with more Umbrella guards. She tells Billy to stay away from B and pulls a gun on her. Billy says, "No, we're family. We're twins." Jade says, "Not since that night," which is the exact night that we keep flashing back to at this point in the episode. Jade says that night made Billy heartless. She calls it the worst night of her life and the day that she lost her sister. Billy actually sees that night the complete opposite way that Jade does. She says after that night, she started to be who she always was, but was just too afraid to admit it. She called it the best night of her life. Billy then gets really cocky, thinking she has the upper hand in this current situation. She says, I'm the future, and that Jade is a virus. It's always the Jade show. You are selfish. This causes Jade to hold the gun right to Billy's face again, but then she lowers it and she begins to cry. She says, fine, take me. Just let B go. Billy then gets a crazed look in her eyes and says, I don't need you anymore. And she shoots Jade in the ribs. Her men then walk up and take B and walk away. Young Jade, Billy, Albert, and Bert are hiding from Umbrella, and Albert comes up with a plan to make a bomb to use to escape. Albert tells Bert to take the girls because, quote, someone has to set it off. Bert jumps in and says, no, I'll do it. Albert replies, no, you deserve a life, Bert. Albert gives Jade a piece of paper and says, find her. So they all leave under Albert's instructions. Umbrella guards and Evelyn then break in, and Albert is holding a lighter that he had already sparked, and he's about to ignite his bomb, but Evelyn shoots him right in the hand. So he drops the lighter, then she shoots him again. She says she is going to change the world. She has a future, and she says, what do you have, Albert? He replies, I have a pen. Then Albert pulls his pen out and he sparks it on the ground. This was a big enough spark to ignite the bomb, and everyone scatters to try to get away from it before it goes off. The explosion is massive. They don't show us yet exactly who was killed. Albert was right in the middle of the explosion, so he's probably dead at this point. But Billy said in current time that he recently died. We'll have to wait till next season to find out. Then we see young Billy, Jade, and Bert had made it outside. Billy begins to cry, and she says she's sorry. Billy says, you and me, right? Jade has a look on her face of severe concern, but for the moment, she agrees, and she says, you and me, Billy. Back to current time, we see Jade after being shot. She gets up, holding her side, trying to stop the bleeding. She sees the helicopter fly away, carrying her daughter B, and there's absolutely nothing her or Arjun can do about it. Then they flash back once more, and we see the destruction that was caused from the bomb. They do confirm that Evelyn survived the blast because she is carried off by a stretcher. But then the camera pans to a pile of rubble, and we actually see a zombie hand. So a zero hand pop up from out of the rubble. So this is the official start of the outbreak. As Jade, Billy, and Bert drive away to safety, she opens up the note from Albert and she sees the name Ada Wong is written on the piece of paper. And the address is in Japan. Billy looks exhausted and she seems to be still very shaken up from everything that just happened. So Jade looks over at Billy and she has a look in her eye like she has already lost her sister to end the first season. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Whether you enjoyed that season or not, I hope you enjoyed this recap. We'll see if they do a season 2. But anyway, if you're not familiar with my voice, if you haven't seen one of my recaps on this channel, my name is Dan and my YouTube channel is called Scene Invaders. We cover movies and TV shows and we make multiple YouTube videos per week. We're currently breaking down Only Murders in the Building season 2. So if that sounds interesting to you, please check out my channel. We also have a weekly podcast talking pop culture. So if you've enjoyed this recap, I'd really appreciate it if you check that out. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.